up here, but it's not. Over here with Jeff. She comes.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mary Swingle, and I am the campus director at the Rasmussen College here in St. Cloud. I am very proud to present to you tonight and celebrate with you our graduating class of 2013 and 2014. Today, we will be honoring these graduates and their accomplishment. Before we begin, I ask that you to recognize the significance of this event, that you take a moment and please turn off the ringers on your cell phones. Yes, 10 years ago, we would not be having this conversation. However, notice I said ringer. Please feel free to take as many pictures as you would like during the evening. Today is our graduates' day to shine, and we thank you for joining us to celebrate their success. We also want to acknowledge the role that you have played in making this dream a reality. Your support and commitment has helped these graduates achieve this milestone in their life. The doors that this opportunity will open for them are limitless. Thank you. It is also my honor to recognize the staff and faculty of Rasmussen College of St. Cloud, who have played a key role in helping this dream come true for our graduates. Would the faculty please stand? Let's give them a round. Also, we have a variety of staff members here behind the scenes that have also been a key role in their success. If I could have the staff stand wherever you are, or a little show of hands. Without further ado, we are going to start our ceremony by introducing Lori Larson, our academic dean.
Good evening. As Mary said, my name is Lori Larson, and I am the Academic Dean for the St. Cloud campus. It is now my great pleasure to welcome our graduate speaker to the stage. Tiffany Aagards started at Rasmussen College in January of 2011 and graduated with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice in September of 2013. Tiffany lives in St. Cloud, Minnesota with her husband and 3 of her 5 children. Her education in criminal justice allowed her to achieve her current position as the reporting coordinator for Minnesota Monitoring, Inc. with Stearns County Human Services Community Corrections. Please join me in welcoming Tiffany to the stage.
Welcome, family, friends, faculty, and graduates. My name is Tiffany Aagards, and I'm honored to stand before you tonight as a representative of the 2013-2014 graduating class. Getting here tonight has been a journey for us all. For some of us, our years attending Rasmussen College have been continually filled with emotional and physical trials throughout, while for others, not so much. My own personal journey to get me here to where I am tonight was nothing but eventful from beginning to end. This is my story. Within a few short weeks after I had registered at Rasmussen in 2010, I was diagnosed with cancer. My doctor insisted that I not wait any unnecessary amount of time, but rather schedule my surgical procedure immediately as time was critical. I was in shock, to say the least. Denial. I could not believe that this was happening to me, and now of all times, as if any time is better than another. But I knew that I needed to tell my family and my friends, and I knew that I needed to put my affairs in order and prepare for the worst while hoping for the best. And of course, I now needed to inform my program manager, Jeffrey, and my student advisor at Rasmussen of my new situation. Jeff had suggested that I take a lighter class load than I had first registered for at least the first quarter to accommodate for any recovery time I would need after my very quickly approaching surgery. He had even suggested that I hold off altogether on beginning classes until my medical issues were stable. But little did Jeff know at that time how strong my dedication and determination was to overcome any obstacle that would be put before me. I had put off my goals and my dream of becoming a college graduate for far too many years. Nothing was going to come between me and my degree, not anymore. Not this time, and certainly not like this. So what did I do, you might ask? I decided to change all of my courses from residential to online so that I could still fulfill my dream of obtaining my bachelor's degree in the criminal justice field. The surgery, however, did not go off without a hitch. In fact, complications arose while I was under the knife that left me open on the operating table longer than expected, with further problems than were first anticipated by my doctor. Nevertheless, 11 days after my surgery, I began my online classes as scheduled from my living room couch. Fighting through the excruciating pain I was left with after my surgery, and without the use of much prescription medication due to my intolerance for most pain relievers, still I pushed on in my studies. Weeks passed and I worked diligently to excel in my classes as well as my recovery, and I was doing extraordinarily well. Things were finally starting to look up. That is, until the very same day that all of my physical restrictions were lifted due to my surgery, and I slipped and fell on some ice and broke my coccyx. Yes, I did that. So back I went to begin another recovery process. I then spent the next 3 months sitting on an inflatable donut while continuing on with my studies, still all from my living room couch. It was becoming very apparent very quickly that I was destined to be an online student rather than a residential student. And as my second year included news that I had developed glaucoma and melasma, my third year brought yet another physical challenge. In April of 2013, I had been in an automobile accident that left me unable to use my right arm. I experienced a great deal of pain, and again, I was devastated. I was exhausted in every way possible. I was beginning to think that there were forces against me getting my degree. So again, I was being challenged, but again, I would persevere. With intense physical therapy with a therapist 3 times a week, and in daily in-house therapy, I was able to regain the use of my right arm with minimal pain and keep up with my fellow classmates, although I needed to take many breaks, and that also meant working longer hours on my computer. Almost 7 months have passed since I completed my last quarter at Rasmussen. I am happy to say that after all I experienced while attending Rasmussen, today, all of my bones are intact. I have the use of all my appendages. I am cancer-free. And after more than 25 years since I graduated from high school, I have finally achieved my academic goal of earning my bachelor's degree. But make no mistake, I know that I would not be standing here today if not for the countless individuals who would never let me give up, even when it appeared that all the cards were stacked against me. At this time, I would like to say thank you to a few of those people in my life. To my brother Dean, thank you for explaining to me in layman's terms the difference between inductive and deductive reasoning. You took that class too. And for being accessible to me both day and night for any and all assistance I needed regarding critical thinking. Thank you to my parents for putting their own lives on hold and for moving into my home for a short time after my surgery to help care for my children and myself. And to my mother, a special thank you for being the English guru that you are. Sorry. Also, I want to say thank you to my son, Rich, for taking time out of his own college studies to explain to me that which is a null hypothesis and for teaching me FOIL. If you don't know what that is, you didn't have algebra. To my husband, Doug, thank you for keeping me company on many of the long all-nighters I needed to pull, for being my research buddy along the way, and for believing in me even when I did not. I know I couldn't have done this without you. Next, I want to thank all 5 of my children. Robbie, Ridge, Billy, Brody, and Sadie, thank you for your patience and for supporting me as I followed my dream. I hope that I've become an inspiration for each of you to always do the best you can without excuses and against all odds. And I hope that I have shown to you that you can accomplish anything you set your mind to do. The last person I want to thank tonight is Pat Grelson, Rasmussen's librarian and my guardian angel. I cannot tell you the number of times I corresponded through email and spoke with Pat over the phone regarding information that I required while doing research for papers. Pat would, of course, always find for me the material I would need to successfully complete the assignment I would be working on, and then I'm sure she would just go about her day, probably not even realizing how much she had just done to make my life so much easier. It was only a few short months ago that I finally met Pat face to face, and I was able to thank her in person for all she had done for me. I had been waiting in the library for a job fair to begin in the next room when I overheard a familiar voice. One only ever spoken to me over the phone. We both thought it was funny that we could recognize each other's voices, but having never met, we did not know what each other looked like. In closing, I just want to say thank you to Rasmussen College for allowing me this privilege and honor here tonight. I will never forget this night or this journey. And to my fellow classmates, thank you for challenging me each and every day. Congratulations, graduating class of 2014.
Thank you, Tiffany. Your perseverance and determination is an inspiration for all of us. Good evening once again, graduates, family, and friends. My name is Dr. Jennifer Bestick, and I'm the Chair of Health Sciences at Rasmussen College in St. Cloud. It is my honor to introduce tonight's keynote speaker, Janelle Kendall. Janelle was raised in a farm outside Blooming Prairie, Minnesota, and earned her bachelor's degree in business from Hamline University in St. Paul. She then graduated from the University of Minnesota School of Law in 1990, going directly into private practice in St. Cloud. Janelle served as the Mille Lacs County Attorney from 1999 until she was elected the Stearns County Attorney in November of 2002. Janelle is past president of the Minnesota County Attorneys Association and has served on the MCAA Board of Directors since 1999. In November of 2003, she was appointed to the Board of Directors of the National District Attorneys Association. Her current focus includes homicide, law enforcement training, significant work with school safety and bullying, and the establishment of Minnesota's first felony domestic violence court. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Janelle Kendall.
Tiffany, that's nothing compared to what you've done. Wow, wow. And she works with me at Stearns County. How cool is that? We actually work in the same business. The endurance contest that you just described is what I want to talk to you just for a few minutes tonight. The endurance contest of graduating, you're done, you guys. Good job, congratulations. Are you tired? Yeah, you should be. You should be. In my experience, at least, it's always been that way. At the end of anything that's really worth doing, I'm tired and I'm relieved. And whether it was fun or it was cool or it was really interesting, that really isn't your primary thought right now, I bet. You're just glad that you're done and you're relieved and you're moving on. So good for you. And was it worth doing, this educational venture that you've just completed? Frankly, you probably don't know yet. You just got done. And it's a little bit early to even wait for the effects to that to play out. Although, again, look at this over here. She's working, she's already well down the path. And if some of you here tonight have not been through a college education experience, you might be wondering why it's referred to as an endurance contest. Because when you're in college, there are times it would be easier to opt out. And there are times when you probably wanted to. I know I did. Like any big project, it's kind of easy to lose sight of the point when you're in the middle of it. The deadlines of the papers, and the presentations, and the readings, and the tests, and then the meetings with your instructors. And they're asking you, well, did you get this under control? And have you thought about this? And did you get your paperwork done? And are you going to meet the deadline? And do you have a plan for next quarter? And what are you doing? And they're asking you all these questions, and you're busting your butt to get it done. You're trying to meet the deadlines, you're trying to do all the things, but the things that Tiffany described, it's one detail after another, and I bet you've wondered at times if it was really all worth it. And I am told, and I see, that most of you are non-traditional students. You have an average age of 27. You have spouses and children. You had lives before you started this. And so you've really managed to get something done here on top of everything that you've done in college. And probably while you were also working, and now you're deciding to take on something else. So at some level, no matter what happens next is a plus, because you've taken control of your own life, and you've passed the test. You got through the endurance contest, and I bet you're tired, and I was. Like many of you, I was the first person in my family to go to college as well. And when I called home and talked to my parents about it, or my sisters about it, they had no idea what I was talking about. They didn't understand why getting the paper done and talking to the instructor and all these details and all this paperwork, and they didn't know. They didn't get what I was going through. And so that endurance contest is a little bit different when you have a life and you have other people that are depending on you to get things done while you're trying to do your degree. And the good news and the bad news for you, okay, here's where they bring me to talk about this. It's just kind of starting. This idea that you're going to have to continue to make deadlines and get evaluated and get graded on things. The business that I'm in now, criminal law and public safety, the same thing that Tiffany is working in, it has a lot of the same steps. You still have to read the materials, you'll still be tested on them, you still have to give a good presentation, and if you don't do grade A work in my job, the bad guy gets away. And if you don't prepare and can't answer the judge's questions, you might get a C grade and the judge might throw out half of your case. And if you're not pulling your information and presenting it in a way that a jury understands, you might get an F. And if I fail at what I'm doing, the bad guy goes free and the victim doesn't get justice. And that's a problem, because that's got my name on it. That's my work, that's what I do. Just like the diploma that you're going to get tonight, it has your name on it. And it's yours, and it's what you did with it and what you have to prove for it. So the trial work and the prosecution tracks a lot of what you've just accomplished here at Rasmussen, because each case really is like a class unto itself. You have to get the book. When I get the book, it's all the police reports, and sometimes when you get the book and you have a paper to write, it doesn't tell you everything you need to know. So you need to go do some more research. So I have to go get some more police reports. I have to do some research. I have to put together my paper. And then you get the assignment to go get the bad guy. Well, then there's a whole bunch of rules you have to follow. And there's things that you can do and you can't do, and there's timelines that you have to follow. It all has to make sense to fulfill the assignment. And then getting that paper that you've just written and researched and put together, all put together into a presentation for the teacher, the judge and the jury, and my line of work. Well, do you know what you're doing? Are you going to get an A? Can you win? The work you choose going forward will be no different. You're going to have to collect the information and understand the assignment and find a way that works for you to get it done. And you will continue to be evaluated. Your bosses will give you reviews, assuming that you get a job, because you got to go through a whole bunch more reviews and presentations in your interviews. And others will continue to measure your progress. But what I find in my years of running a business is that you will still be motivated the most by your own measurements. Do you think you're winning or losing? Do you think you're doing a good job? It's going to be less about what other people think and more about what you think when it really comes to it at the end of the day. And I tell my new lawyers that. It's not just about winning and losing. Well, in court it kind of is. And how you play the game and practicing and get the fundamentals down, that's all true. But you know, because you've been through this, in real life not everybody gets a ribbon. And not everybody does win or lose. But if you never win, you might not know how to play the game. But what I tell my lawyers is if they never lose, they're not trying hard enough. If you never lose, you're sitting in your safe little world, and you're letting things happen to you. And if you never lose, you're never affecting an outcome. And what you've done with this formal education by graduating here today, you passed the test. And you won the trial, you guys, you did. You've affected your outcome, and you made it through the endurance contest. So no matter what happens next, you got a win down, you got that in your hands, and you got your name on it. And that was hard. And I bet you're tired. I would be. I was. And what's going to make the grade with your employers as you go forward is to be happier with what you're doing. Because doesn't everybody want to be good at something? And if the thing that you're really good at can be your job, then you're not just making a living. Then you're just making a better life. So congratulations. I sat there last night writing this, trying to remember what it was like when I was sitting here graduating, and the people that were there to see me were thinking, what the heck was that all about? And I was just glad to be done and not really realizing how much fun it was going to be once I got to actually use the logic and the algebra and all the different things that I had to do. So I'm glad actually to hear you guys talking about that and to remember, actually, you might be surprised where you'll actually end up needing to know those words. I still am when I appear in court every once in a while. And even if it's something that you can talk to your boss about, that you both had that class at one point in college, even little things like that will work. So thank you for letting me be here. I understand what you're doing, and I, along with everyone else, I'm so proud of you guys for getting this done, considering everything else you have going on in your life. Tiffany, honored to meet you.
Thank you, Tiffany, or Janelle, that was beautiful. Just a minute, I'm fine with it. All right, thank you, Janelle. Hello, everyone. I am Lori Stedman. I'm the Dean of the Nursing Program. It is my pleasure to be able to share with you an award that we have for Rasmussen College graduates, and it is called the Rasmussen Award. Tonight, we're here to celebrate the June 2013, September 2013, December 2013, and March 2014 Rasmussen College graduates. Congratulations to all of our graduates on their successful completion of their degree. Before we present the graduates, we'd like to recognize several students for their outstanding leadership, and would the following students please join me on stage? I read really slow to give you time to get up here, okay? Tiffany Aagards, did I say it right? Aagards? Of course I didn't. April Almscheid. Patricia Tarnowski. Wendy Robarge. And Alicia Pater. Let's give them all a round of applause, shall we?
Rasmussen Recognition Award voted on by the faculty. These awards are presented to outstanding students based upon respect, attitude, support, mentoring, uniqueness, skill, self-confidence, enthusiasm, and notability. Please give another round of applause for these students in recognition. I'd like to welcome Dean Lori Larson back to the stage to introduce you to our graduating class.
You guys look fabulous, by the way. Has anybody told you that yet tonight? You look pretty good. Clean up nice. All right, let's get to it, right? While you guys are all here, shall we begin? We're going to begin with the School of Business. And Jeffrey Thibodeau. Thank you, Tom. I would like to invite faculty member James Tollefson, School of Health Sciences, Chair Dr. Jennifer Bestick, and faculty member Melissa Elfke to the stage to award the Practical Nursing, Health Information, Medical Administration, and Pharmacy Technician diplomas. Would this group of graduates please approach the stage to be recognized? Starting with our Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice, Tiffany Aagard. Jason Bailson. Nathan Bamboon. Associates of Applied Science, Human Services, Cami Beebe. Associates of Applied Science, Law Enforcement, Hannah Mielke. Associates of Applied Science, Criminal Justice, Michael Anderson.